Very interesting. Oh my goodness. So I came across this interview on CNN, and it happened to deal with, the protests that are happening on college campuses right now. And they interviewed this one student who, let me get this straight, identified as Black, Native American, and Jewish.
So you describe yourself as Black, Native American, and Jewish.
Mm-hmm. And she said recently that she's hasn't felt safe, and that all of her other identities beside her Jewish identity were okay. But her Jewish identity was one that was being attacked, and she does not like that.
The community that I felt previously so accepted by, specifically because of my identities, all of this was actually conditional, and the one condition is my Jewish identity.
Now she goes on to talk about, because she's asked, hey, what do you think about people protesting Zionism on college campuses? And she says that protesting Zionism in and of itself is anti-Semitic. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anything about anything, okay, when it comes to this. I'm a fish out of water, because for the longest, I thought Zionism was bad, and that Zionism and being Jewish weren't the same thing, that you could be Jewish without being a Zionist. Now, she is saying that Zionism and being a Jew are intrinsically the same thing. They are intrinsic. There's an intrinsic relationship there, that if you attack Zionism, then in fact you are attacking Jewish people, which relates to, being anti-Semitic.
They are protesting Zionism, which is specifically this movement to create, to develop, to support a Jewish state. Is it legitimate, in your view, to protest Zionism specifically?
Absolutely not. And there are many different ways you can look at this. But
now, how she defines Zionism is Israel, the Jewish people, let me see if I get this right, the Jewish people's right to self-determination in their homeland.
Zionism, which is the Jewish right to self-determination in our historic homeland, is inextricably linked to our religion.
Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know what that means, okay? I have no clue what that means, because I know how many people, many groups love to use the English language to their utility, we'll say, okay? And the ambiguous nature of the words that they use can manifest itself in damn near anything. So when she says the self-determination of Jewish people in their homeland, I don't know what that means, because I don't know. Once again, I could be ignorant 100%, but I'm not aware of any protest that's going on that is specifically and solely targeting Jewish self-determination. From what I've seen, it seems to be, hey, they're advocating for a ceasefire because Palestinian kids and families and people are being, targeted, all right? Not necessarily targeted, but we'll say the outcome of, IDF trying to get the terrorists is that innocent people are being harmed. That's the gist of what I've heard from many of these college campuses and the protests that are happening. Now, she's saying that the protest in and of itself is anti-Semitic. That's what she's saying.
Do you think it's synonymous effectively with being Jewish?
Absolutely. Absolutely it is.
And that the only group of people who have not been allowed to have self-determination have been Jewish people on this campus, because she's saying that there haven't been any protests for any other groups for self-determination aside from Jewish people, which she defines as anti-Semitic. Now,
at least at Columbia, we do not protest any form of any person's right to self-determination. There's no other movement, and there's no other self-determination movement that is protested that I've seen, definitely not at Columbia. So for this to be the only movement that is taken issue with amongst the students, and that it's the Jewish movement, it is inherently anti-Semitic.
I could be crazy, but I feel like that's a complete straw man. I feel like that's a complete bastardization of what is taking place, on what is transpiring on college campuses. Like I said, I don't believe there they're trying to say you don't deserve, or Jewish people as a whole don't deserve self-determination. I don't think that's what they're saying. I haven't heard that. I don't believe that to be the popular narrative that's being promoted and advocated for. Could there possibly be outliers and bad actors who are suggesting that? Sure. But the overwhelming evidence doesn't lead me to that conclusion. Nevertheless, she continues. And this is where I found it to be very, very interesting, because she goes on to talk about tokenism. Because the host asks, well, what do you say about the Jews who are in support of the Palestinians? What do you say about the Jews who are in support of the ceasefire happening in Gaza? And she is like, those are tokens. That's what they are. They are tantamount to gays for Trump and blacks for Trump.
As I'm sure you know, there are Jewish students who are a part of the pro-Palestinian protests. You've compared them to blacks for Trump, gays for Trump.
Absolutely.
It's fair?
Yeah, of course it's fair. I mean, I say take them as seriously as we all take blacks for Trump and gays for Trump. And I think it's absolutely a fair comparison. It's the same tokenization that we're seeing. And in terms of our perception of them, that's absolutely how seriously we should take them.
Now, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you on this, but the self-awareness of this lady is zero, okay? Nada. Because she is very much a token in the Jewish community, okay? I looked all up and down trying to find anything of her advocating for black people with the same fervor, okay, and the energy and the passion she has for the Jewish people, and it's nowhere to be found. I've seen her at AIPAC conventions. I've seen her at doing speeches, and she's the only black person on stage. So for her to say that Jewish people advocating for a ceasefire or for the Palestinian people are tokens is wild, okay? It's absolutely wild, because she, and this goes back to one of the videos that I did about the UFC player and how he's talking about, I'm not raising black kids, I'm just raising kids, okay? And it's like, well, those are black kids, so you are raising black kids. And by you not acknowledging their blackness and the historical advantages and disadvantages that come with that, then you are doing them a disservice. And I think that's tantamount to child abuse. Having said that, that's what it seems like how she was raised. Because she seems that she's put her blackness and her Native Americanness to the side and is hyper-focused on her being Jewish. Now, I didn't look into her family and why she identifies as being Jewish and all that. I didn't go into that because, honestly, I don't care. You're more than welcome to. But I would say that when someone sees her in this country, my guess is they don't see her and say, oh, you're Native American. They don't see her and say, oh, you're Jewish. They see her as a black woman. That's what I would argue. I would say that they see you 9 out of 10 as a black woman or some form of black, okay? Mixed or whatever you are, black. So I'm not gonna lie when I say I find it very peculiar regarding her passion for the Jewish people. Very, very interesting. But nonetheless, that's what she says. That's what she believes is the case. Now, what I would argue is that she's nothing more than the Jewish Candace Owens. That's what I would argue. She's nothing more than the Jewish Candace Owens, okay? The Jewish people are using her and her skin color to promote a narrative to go uncontested. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not Lucas, she is speaking the truth, okay? She's speaking the truth and they are anti-Semitic and we've got to stop that. Or if you have hey, at the end of the day, this isn't my fight, okay? This isn't my fight. I'm in the US, not in Gaza. I don't know what to tell you. All I know is that y'all keep giving them and everyone else a bunch of billions and billions and billions of dollars, but your own people, especially black Americans, you want to talk about how reparations isn't possible or how it's going to cause inflation or something. Okay, all right, but sure. Anyways, you know the drill. If you disagree, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, call in. We'll duke it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think about the situation. And subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. Is wild.